Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Subaru Wesley Chapel, and guess what? I have that one turbocharged all-wheel drive performance sedan from Subaru. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 Subaru WRX. This particular one is a premium trim. But before we get into this all-wheel drive rally car, let's talk about what's going on here. So the WRX. It really is that signature vehicle from Subaru that has that magic from their World Rally Championship days. Now, what's fascinating is that if you look at the history of Subaru in the World Rally Championship, they actually ran the Legacy, and they were very successful with the larger Legacy. It was back in 1994 when they came out with the Impreza and also came out with a WRX and a full-blown WRX STI. Now, what's fascinating, here on our shores in the United States, we didn't get a WRX until 2002, and we didn't get a WRX STI until 2004. Now, on this latest generation chassis platform, there is no STI. You can get a TR, you can get a WRX TS, but there's no STI. But what I want to find out is, we're not here to talk about an STI. We're here to find out, is this WRX Premium with an automatic transmission? Most would say that's blasphemy, but you can get an automatic transmission. Is it the better all-wheel drive performance car over a GR Corolla? Especially now on a 2025 GR Corolla, you can get an automatic transmission. Let's go ahead, let's dive into our ice silver WRX and find out. Right off the bat, silver works really well on a Subaru. Now, of course, the fastest color, my favorite color, is going to be World Rally Blue. But silver really highlights the lines, especially on this latest generation. At the front of the business, you're going to get full LED lighting, projector beam headlights, turn signals, and daytime running lamps. Working our way down, you do have the Rally-esque LED fog lamps, but the zonk, why do we need fake vent? This is a performance car. No fake vent. But I do like the fact that it's flat black rather than gloss black. I feel like the gloss black is just would be a little too much on the front of the vehicle, but they sculpted it nicely, and it does have the Rally-esque LED lighting. Now remember, for 2025, the GR Corolla ditched its fog lamps. No fog lamps on a 2025 GR Corolla. We come across that gunmetal gray finish grille on the premium trim. Of course, we have that Constellation, so much history with that Subaru badge. Working our way down, ice silver and then flat black. I do like the lower lip, how it extends down. And of course, it's gonna allow a lot of nice, cool air to flow into the radiator, because remember, even though this has an intercooler, what's unique about the WRX ever since its inception is that the intercooler is not mounted up front like you would find on a GR Corolla. But let me know what you think about the face of this premium trim. As we rise up, you're gonna get that signature hood scoop. That's where your top mounted intercooler is. Scoop all that air into that center large area. And I also like the way that they took the body lines from the indentation and then flew it into the A-pillar. Gives it a nice look. That's probably one of my favorite styling cues of this generation of the WRX. As we come around the bend, this is where we're gonna see one of my least favorite styling cues, but we'll get to that in a second. Coming around the bend, what do we have on a premium trim? You have 18-inch wheels, which guess what, are metallic gunmetal gray, just like the color on the grille. Tires, all four corners are gonna be 245 on the width, 40 series sidewall. And remember, on the GR Corolla, you also get 18-inch wheels. Now, GR Corolla, you can go up a trim level and get Brembo brakes, but if you go TR or TS with the WRX, you could also get Brembo brakes as well. But let me know what you think about the wheel size and the style. It's okay. I like the wheels on the TR and the TS a lot better. This is just okay. If we were looking at the GR Corolla, I like the wheels more on the GR Corolla. The biggest zonk, of course, is the fender cladding. Why in the hell did they do that? Now Most people, when they buy their brand new WRX, they gotta pop these off and either get them painted, or there's companies where you could buy a set, they charge you a core, and then you send yours back. The good news is they're easy to pop off and pop on, but come on, let's paint the fender flares for Pete's sakes. This isn't an SUV. Working our way towards the rear, you have ice silver on the mirror caps. Premium trim does not get a sunroof, and I'm okay with that. I do like that large side skirt extension. Would be nice if it was painted, but it is very aggressive down on an angle. Working our way towards the rear, we have our symmetrical all-wheel drive, just like the GR Corolla has all-wheel drive. The one thing that you could do with the GR Corolla that you can't with this WRX is actually adjust how much power goes to the front wheels, how much power goes to the rear wheels. Used to be able to do that on an STI, can't do it on a WRX. This portion right here on the rear is my favorite part, especially with the silver. You can see that crisp line, that nice flared fender, but then your eyes fall down and you're like, ew. Get rid of the cladding, please, Subaru. Premium trim is gonna get a nice trunklet spoiler. I do like that look. And then you'll see how they updated the taillights. All LED, no Thomas Edison light bulbs in there. Subaru all-wheel drive badge, your WRX badge. I could do without the gloss black connecting the taillights. Just make that silver. I think that would have looked a lot better. I feel like every body part on this new WRX, if you just painted it the same body color, would probably look pretty spectacular. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. Dropping it down to ground level, you do have your quad tip exhaust, fully functional, nice stainless steel tips. And the lower bumper has grown on me. I just would like to see it painted. Maybe not the whole thing, but just most of it I think would go a long way. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk horsepower of this WRX. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You can see where that functional hood scoop, this rubber gasket fits around our intercooler. You got your throttle body, your 4 individual intake runners, alternator, AC compressor, and on this 2.4 liter flat 4 engine, you have your oil filter up top. What do we got horsepower wise? Out of that flat 4, 271 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, and just like the title says, this one has the automatic transmission. Now, the one on the WRX is a CVT. The one in the GR Corolla is a traditional 8-speed torque converter automatic transmission. 0 to 60 in this WRX, you're looking around 5.3 seconds. Top speed, 145 miles per hour. The vehicle weighs 3,400 pounds. MPG's 19 in the city, 26 on the highway. Now, if you compare this to a GR Corolla has a 3-cylinder inline 3 turbocharged engine that pumps out 300 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. So the GR Corolla does have a little bit more horsepower, does have a little bit more torque, and it's got the traditional torque converter automatic transmission. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this WRX Premium and hear what it sounds like. All right guys, we're inside this 2024 Subaru WRX Premium with the automatic transmission. Now I know you're saying to yourself, well Joe, I don't want to drive manual. I never learned. I live in California where there's lots of traffic, so I just don't want an automatic transmission car. I mean, excuse me, a manual transmission car. I want the manual. I'm thinking about myself. I don't want the automatic, but I know you're saying to yourself, you want the automatic, so you want to find out how much is this. Well, let's talk about the GR Corolla first. So for 2025, your base GR Corolla with an automatic transmission is going to run you $41,000 and change. You get a fully trimmed out GR Corolla with an automatic transmission, you're looking at $48,000. This Premium, which remember is not a base, it'd be called base if it was, this is a Premium. This has an MSRP of $38,000 with the automatic transmission. But let's see how it compares to the GR Corolla. To the door panels. I do like the soft touch up top. Not a fan of the cloth. Get rid of that right away, Subaru. And yes, that is what comes on the premium trim. You have some faux carbon fiber. I guess it's okay. I'd rather just have flat black, to be honest with you, because you got flat black around the switchgear, a nicely padded armrest, and then the door pocket is tight. Maybe you might be able to get a bag of tater tots in there and an iced tea, an Arnold Palmer to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, I do just like the flat black. That's all I need. This nice dark silver trim is okay. Slide on in, you're gonna get the 11.6-inch infotainment system. I've shown you this infotainment system on many different Subarus. It's the same freaking one. So you got your gauges across the top. You can switch to different information if you want, like your audio. You can bring up the weather. Let me throw it into reverse. Backup camera. Let me go ahead and hit the little car. And then there's where you could adjust your driving assistance and settings and everything else. And then you have the swipe features. So that's what you got. Car info. We could go to that too. Kind of cool how it shows that. AC, you do have blower in the screen. 3 stages of heated seats on this premium trim, but it's all in the screen. But the dual climate control and the tuning and volume knobs are real deal physical knobs and buttons. You have a USB-C, USB-A, aux jack, 12 volt, no wireless charging, but you could easily put, I would say, 4 Twinkies in here. This is the guy that's going to control your CVT transmission, and it is a different CVT programming than that they have on any other Subaru product, like a little bit of the gunmetal gray finish and the red stitching. 2 large cup holders, your standard Subaru key fob, nothing wrong with that. It's actually much nicer than a Toyota GR Corolla key fob. You got a place for, I would say, 5 to 6 atomic fireballs. This is ridiculous. This is as hard as a rock. But you open it up, you got another 12 volt, and you got enough room in there. I would say you could put 5 cinnamon buns in there. I remember when I used to teach high school, and the kids would stop at convenience stores and bring in food in the morning, and they were eating these cinnamon buns and all sorts of donut stuff, munchkins. I used to try to tell them, what kind of way is that to start your day? Eat something healthy, for God's sakes. Seats, they are cloth, but I do like the bolstering, and I like the way they use different material. Manual adjustments for the passenger, manual adjustments for the driver. I'll be honest, the seats in the GR Corolla are much nicer, and they are manual as well, but they are nicer material. Come over here though, I want to show you behind the flat bottom steering wheel in this WRX. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have a Subaru accessory optional sill plate. This all lights up, the WRX and the graphics light up bright white LED at night. I love the pedal box. Nice aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. And of course you got the WRX embroidery on the floor mats worth an extra 5 horsepower. Manual seat controls. Seats are great though. I love the bolstering. It's got some nice lateral support. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here, and the steering wheel has really nice leather, and I like the way that they use the red Babe Ruth baseball stitching, WRX badge, flat black on all the switchgear. You do have paddles that go through simulated gears on the CVT, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have your analog gauge setup with the 5-inch digital display. You do have your different modes with your SI drive. So you have intelligent, sport, and sport sharp, which is nice, or sport hashtag. This also does have Subaru's eyesight technology, which will keep you nice and safe. But remember, the GR Corolla does have a full digital display. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see who's got more room for your friends in that area of the car. Let's get back. All right, guys, back seat time, and I'll be honest with you, the WRX lays the smack down on the GR Corolla. GR Corolla is much tighter in the back seat. You do get the same material, and I do like the way they do the red stitching throughout, which is great. Now the backs of the seats are cloth, no pocket if you're sitting behind the driver, but if you sit behind the passenger, you do have a nice large pocket for, I would say, 4 bananas. Let's try to keep it healthy. And remember, 1 average size banana is 2 servings of fruit. Because it's a dense fruit, it has more sugar and substance to it rather than an apple or a pear, because those have more water. Something to think about. I don't know what the hell they did here. They could have put 2 AC vents, but instead they gave you a Twinkie holder, 4 Twinkies. Rather have the AC vents, believe it or not. USB-C, USB-A, no heated seats on a premium trim. Seats are comfortable though, and there is a lot of headroom. Let's get in the trunk and see who wins that battle between the WRX and the GR Corolla. All right guys, trunk space. Obviously WRX obviously has a trunk. GR Corolla has a hatchback. Believe it or not, you're getting a lot more cargo room in the WRX. This is over 14 cubic feet of space. And the way that Subaru designs the trunk is that when you fold down the rear seats, which is a 60-40 split, you can get a full set of wheels and tires in the back of this WRX when you fold down the seats. Not gonna be able to do that very successfully in the GR Corolla. GR Corolla is very, very tight. But it's that time. If you're ready, I'm ready. Yes, we have an automatic WRX, but let's go ahead and go on throttle and see how it drives. All right, guys, we are behind the wheel of this WRX Premium trim with the automatic. I have it in Sport Sharp mode, and we're gonna go on throttle from a dead stop. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Very responsive off the line. Love the shifts. And of course, the way that this WRX handles is phenomenal. You have that boxer engine, turbocharged, underneath the hood, nice and low in the chassis. And this CVT does not behave like any of their other CVTs in Subaru products. It's very unique to the WRX. I still would prefer a manual, that's me, but it does give an option for somebody to be able to enjoy a WRX and not do their own shifting. It actually simulates upshifts and downshifts, which is kind of cool. But driving around, you are gonna still have that great all-wheel drive performance. The handling, of course. On throttle, here we go. Wow, I get like a little bit of a pop out of the exhaust out back. Kind of interesting. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the shifter, pull it towards my leg, and I'm gonna use the paddles to go through the simulated gears. It does have a gear indicator in the lower left-hand corner. You ready? I'm ready. On throttle. It feels like a traditional torque converter automatic transmission when you're using the paddles to shift. It's actually quite crazy how good it feels. Now, comparing it to the GR Corolla, you're not going to outperform that car. That 8-speed automatic transmission is pretty good with the way that they have it set up in the GR Corolla. Now, the wonderful thing about the WRX is that full-time all-wheel drive, and the fact that you don't have to worry about, besides what mode you're in with the SI drive, you don't have to worry about sending power to the front or the rear. It just is a straight up 50-50 split. You don't have a lot of lag off the line, which is really crazy with this 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. I like the fact that the boost kicks in and it gives you some good power off the line. But shifting with the paddles definitely does make it a better driving experience. That's for sure. Visibility out the front is great. The back, the rear shelf behind the passenger seats kind of comes up a little bit at an angle, but you still got plenty of visual area out the glass. Like I said, the eyesight safety technology. You do have the larger infotainment system screen. On a GR Corolla, you're looking at an 8-inch screen. This has an 11.6-inch screen, and it's very easy to get to. When you're driving on the 5-inch color LED screen, you can put a boost gauge, which is nice. And then you have the analog, tach, speedometer, coolant and fuel gauge. Seats, I'm gonna say it's pretty much even Stevens when it comes to comfort. I do like the GR Corolla seats better because they just have the nicer materials and they look more like a proper high performance seat. But like I said, driving this car makes for a perfect daily driver and really allows you to be able to have that choice, to where if you want to be able to own a WRX and you don't know how to drive a manual, or you don't want to drive a manual, this gives you the option. And of course, you can go up to GT trim, which gives you the adaptive suspension. Suspension in this car, I think, is tuned very well for the twisty bits, but also for your daily driving. I'm not noticing a lot of vibration that's coming into the cabin, which is nice. But really has good feel through the steering. Remember, they reworked the steering rack for this generation. And the paddles are large. They are plastic behind the wheel. But remember, in the GR Corolla, those paddles are plastic as well. But it's really the safety you get in this car from the crash safety testings and the high rating, and also the eyesight technology, which you can turn those things off very easily if you choose to do so. Toyota GR Corolla has the Toyota safety sensing technology. You ready? On throttle. Using those simulated gears to go through. Really, really smooth. Nice feedback. You ready? Here we go. Here's where it gets fun. On the brakes. Yahoo! That's where this car comes together. And as you can see, handles very well. Very stable on the brakes. Nice. Look at this. Nice. You know, you gotta remember that with all-wheel drive, it's not something that is going to just make you Superman. There is understeer that could happen when you carry too much speed into a corner, as you saw. So just something to think about. And this is why I say, like, a lot of people, when they look at the Civic Type R, when they look at the Elantra N, they're like, why doesn't this have all-wheel drive? Well, all-wheel drive is not gonna give you instantaneous grip. There is some understeer that can happen that if you carry too much speed. We're gonna make a U-turn here, very easy to do. On throttle. I do like using the paddles to shift, much better experience than just having the CVT do its thing. On the brakes. Look at this, here we go. Nice. The chassis is so balanced. I do really appreciate that. Very, very balanced chassis. And it really does behave like a traditional torque converter automatic transmission when you're using the paddles. Here we go. There you go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it back into automatic shift mode. So I'm just gonna take the shifter, put it back, push it towards the passenger seat. To put in manual, you gotta pull the shifter towards the driver's seat, push it back towards the passenger seat. That's gonna have the CVT do its own shifting. And it's actually downshifting as I'm coming to a complete stop, which is just crazy. It's crazy good for a CVT. Like I said, this does not behave like any other CVT that you've driven. I like the way it's all real sound. Nothing's getting pumped in through the speakers. And then we're gonna see how this CVT behaves. Ready? On throw, here we go. Look at that. On the brakes. Really does a good job. I am blown away by how this automatic transmission performs, especially because it's a CVT. Holds the gear. Look at this. Let's go one more time. I'm having too much fun. Here we go. Here we go. On the brakes. Nice and stable on the brakes, that's for sure. Round and round and round we go. Here we go. Nice. A little bit of pivot from the rear, which is good. That's what you want. Square off the corner. You feel that, it's like you feel those simulated shifts. It does a good job. Here we go. Good feedback coming through the wheel. I really, really appreciate that. But it's an interesting proposition. You know, I personally just go manual, but like I said, obviously there's a market for it because Toyota and Subaru are building their compact performance cars with an automatic transmission. But I hope that this has been a good overall review. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways here at Subaru Wesley Chapel. Definitely want to thank Passandro and the rest of the team getting us access to this ice silver WRX Premium trim. Let me know what you think. Is it worth the extra money to go the GR Corolla route, or are you getting everything that you need and everything you want with this WRX Premium, especially with both of them having automatic transmissions? But let me know in that comment section. If you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. I'll come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Gotta thank Stephen Flood. He is a Subaru guy. He is officially Subaru man of Safety Harbor. So thank you, Stephen, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.